Hey, happy Thursday. And you're finding me out here on an afternoon walk because the day is absolutely gorgeous and I had an opportunity to get out, and I've had some heavy stuff on my heart today. And I mean heavy, but honest and real, and just stuff that woke me up. And it's a passion as I've been navigating in mindset and on a health journey. And it's a conversation that I hear so often. And I've heard it around money. And I've heard it my whole entire life. And I just want to talk about it today because I thought I'm not the only one, probably. But I do know one thing is it's a pretty tough conversation, and I might offend someone because I honestly know that there's someone out here that I'm speaking to that honestly cannot afford to make some changes. There are people that are really contending in finances, and so I don't want to belittle that at all because that's real. It's going on. I grew up in a large family. There were 9 of us. And I'm going back to a memory of when I was 10 or 11 in the 5th or 6th grade. I don't remember. I remember the time of my life. And so, but I was 10 or 11, and it was the first time in my life that I learned that my dad did not have kneecaps, that he had them injured in his youth and then in the army. And my dad had a lot of pain. And I remember him talking about, the doctor said that if I don't deal with these, that I'll probably be in a wheelchair when I'm in my 60s. And I remember my dad talking about that. And his answer was always, I can't afford that. And it wasn't necessarily just the cost of the surgery, but because it was before orthoscopic and all that stuff, it was major invasive surgery. And it would have meant not probably being able to work for a period of time for each leg while he was recovering. And he couldn't see a path that would allow him to support his family. And so he sacrificed that. He didn't have the surgery when I was a young girl. And I'm gonna go forward to my wedding day. And I just remember this because it never left my heart. But on my wedding day, I was pacing in front of my dad, and I accidentally bumped his foot. And the blood-curdling pain that my dad had, and that the sensation that he was out of his chair probably 3 feet, I won't forget. And I'm like, oh my God, Dad, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't even think it was that tough of a bump, you know? And he looked at me and he said, it's okay, it's not your fault. Said, you know, I've been taking these ibuprofen for so many years, and so many of them that they're destroying my liver. And I'm just trying to cut down on the pain medication. Well, Dad, why won't you have that surgery? I just can't afford that. There's 9 kids here that need to go to college, that need food, that need, and he couldn't afford it. And he was in a lot of pain. My dad did eventually have the surgery when he retired, 65. And by the time he had the surgery, all the components behind where the knee cap was going to go was all deteriorated because it hadn't been protected. And so they had to do a major extensive stuff. And although my dad wasn't in a wheelchair, my dad was pretty limited in his ability. He needed a walker, canes. He fell down many times while he was trying to relearn how to use his legs. But my dad liked to golf, and my dad liked to be active, and my dad liked to play. And I was thinking about all the things my dad missed out on because his physical ability didn't allow that. And then the trips my mom would have to take with other people, like her daughter-in-laws or sisters or other people, because my dad couldn't get around enough to travel with her. He missed out on those. My own personal story, when I turned 30, I needed to get hearing aids, and the cost was prohibitive, and I said, can't afford that. And when I turned 50, I was working at a job where I needed to hear, and I had to make a decision of how I was going to afford it. And I got my hearing aids, and everything changed, but the doctor told me I hadn't heard since birth. What I was missing was something that didn't miss from age. He said, you never heard. And I remember going and having my hearing tested in 2nd grade, maybe again in 5th. I'm going to guess we couldn't afford that. But I can tell you today, there's a whole lot of life that I've missed because I couldn't hear. Understanding conversation, and especially in the year with the masks, it's really highlighted because I struggle to hear people. I struggle to understand, and I just think, what might it look like had I got my hearing aids earlier? But couldn't afford that. My mom was using oxygen. It would have been really easy for her if she had this machine that made oxygen, but it was $5,000 and she couldn't afford that. And I'm like, Mom, you have money and you could do that. And she's like, oh, that's money that Dad and I have for you kids as inheritance. I couldn't spend that. And there's this constant theme about what we can't afford and what we're willing to sacrifice, you know? And I can tell you, as a daughter to my mom, I really wish she would have got it. You know, it would have made the quality of her life at the end better, right? Sometimes we are our own roadblock. And something I'm learning on this journey is you only get one body. You only get one life. You only get one health. You only get one time. There's a cost that we pay, whether it's to get healthy, making the changes, or there's a cost in life that we've missed out on, or illnesses, or machines that we're plugged into, or diabetic medications that we're taking. There's a cost in everything. And I've been working on my mindset because I have a lot of limiting beliefs and I have a lot of things I'm working through on this journey. People talk about the physical part of the journey, and I'm going to tell you the biggest part of this journey that's been the blessing for me is my healthy mind. But my healthy mind around money is there's always going to be a cost to everything. No matter what we choose, it comes with a cost. But the things I heard my whole life, I can't afford it, was always a door shut. It was just a shut door. There was no other option because it was, we can't. And I'm learning that just shifting a mindset to what do I need to do to make that happen? What do I need to do? And it's shifting a perspective from I can't, or I won't, or not now. And maybe all those things were real, and I heard it. But do you know what I really hear? Is I wake up this morning at 58, almost 59 years old, and my brain is stuck on these words, I can't. My brain is stuck on how many times doors were shut without even looking for a solution. We didn't even look for a solution. We just shut the door in our mindset of lack, of not enough, of it can't happen, it's not possible. And I don't want to leave that legacy. I want to inspire my children, myself, my family, my grandkids. I want to inspire my people in my world to look for a solution. As I embarked on this journey, it's a part of what I get to do with people is we get to talk about what it would look like if I could. What are some steps that I would need to make in order to make it happen? What are some things I'm willing to give up in the temporary to gain for the long haul of my life? And helping myself and others to flip a switch in our mind of I can't, I'm limited, I'm stuck where I'm at, because that mindset is what we're breaking on this journey. That's the mindset that kept me around for so long. And so many, we get stuck in that mindset that this is the way I am, it's the way it's always been, we feel stuck, and it's the prison in our head. It's the language we tell ourselves day in and day out. And it could be generational. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5 generations deep. And somewhere in my psyche, I'm going, I want to break that chain for my family. I want my family to be hopeful. Even when it feels like there isn't enough, even when it feels like it's impossible. I walked alongside my sister as she was dying of cancer, and there wasn't anything that she wasn't willing to spend to buy herself one more day on this earth. There wasn't any dollar amount. Not any. We only get one life. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what it means. And I don't know who's supposed to hear this today, but I woke up with this on my heart that so many of us are prisoners in our lack. We're prisoners in I can't. It's not. And I want you to know there is a way. There is hope. There is a solution. There are people who want you to succeed, and it might look impossible. But that's why we come alongside other people, because we help to shift a perspective. We help to find solution. We help people find a way. We help people navigate through what seems impossible to making it possible. Because everyone, I believe every single human being deserves to live that quality life that God put on your heart. Your very best, bright, active, full, engaged, fully present life. You deserve that. The quality is not always equated to the quantity. The dollars don't always match. Sometimes we have to sacrifice in the short term. for the big picture instead of sacrificing the big picture for the short term. That's what I saw growing up. We sacrificed a lot of big picture for the temporary stuff. And I want to shift a perspective to sacrificing the temporary stuff for the big picture stuff. You're worth it. Your family's worth it. Your health is worth it. Your future's worth it. Sorry to be so heavy, but I don't know who needed to hear this today, but it's my heart. And I don't mean to offend anyone, because I do know, in truth, there's a lot of people right now that are really suffering financially, really struggling. And I do not want to diminish that because it's real. But you still deserve a conversation and maybe some solutions or some tips. I help people in any way I can to move forward in their health because I believe everyone deserves it. I hope you have an awesome day. Get out and enjoy this beautiful weather. If you live in the Midwest and we're having spring, take advantage. And I'm gonna just kind heart and laugh. I had to put this energy somewhere. It was bottling inside of me. Because I love you. And I want you to have your very best life too. You deserve it. Have a great day.